he pulled out a baggie of quarters to pay for the it wasn't even straight quarters. He bought out a baggie of coins, period, to What's up, honeys? It's Nunu here, and I'm back at it again with another video again today with the same outfit, with the same hairstyle, with the same lip gloss, because I've been slacking all week. Okay, I apologize. Okay, but anyway, today's story time, well, today's second story time is going to be another date story time, but this one is a little different. Okay, this one was a little creepy. And on top of it being a little creepy, it was a little inappropriate. And on top of it being a little inappropriate, it was a lot right to it, okay? So, I don't know what I'm gonna title it yet, but anyways, let's just get into it. Prom night. Oh my gosh, see, this is why I want to tell my stories in order, because it would make a lot more sense if I did, but it's too late now because I'm already starting the story time. Anyway, prom night, after I do a story time on my prom night, you will hear in part of the story time, I told you guys I met this guy at prom, okay? So the guy I met at prom was a white guy, okay? He was a white boy, and I've always been the type of person that I'm attracted to. Like, I don't put labels on anything. If I like you, I like you. Point blank, period. So, this particular guy, I had a crush on. Now look, it's a lot that goes into the story. So, let me just get into it. So, prom night, I had met him, and he was kind of hanging out with these dudes that used to harass me and my best friend at school. And not harass in a bad way. Like, they used to come up to us talking about some, if I proposed to you, would you say yes? Like, they used to mess with us like that or whatever. So them was our little buddies. So he was with them at prom. And like, I used to see him around school, but I never really paid him no attention. But I always thought he was cute. But he was with the guys that used to mess with us. He was with them. So they saw us at prom, and they was, of course, gassing us up because we was cute or whatever, you know. And you know, we was feeling ourselves because we did everything ourselves. We did our makeup, we did our hair, all that on our own. So we was really feeling ourselves, right? And so he was with them or whatever. And well, I don't want to give away too much because, damn, people went to school with me, so they gonna know who the hell I'm talking about. What can I say that's not gonna give it away on who it was? Because I didn't already say he was a white guy, so I can't say much else, okay? Well, anyway, let's just say the suit he had on caught my eye. Let me just say that. The suit he had on caught my eye. That's good. And so I complimented him on it. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you pimping. Woo woo. You know, woo 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 woo. So I see you. And he was like, nah, I see you. And I said, oh, he talks. Okay. And he, you know, he was using all the Ebonic slang and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, you must got a lot of black friends, clearly. So yeah, you know, his little vibe, it was cool or whatever. You know, he had a nice little fade and all that. Like, he was a real adorable, and I was pretty much talking to him. He's like, oh, by the way, he knew my best friend. Okay, I seen him around school, but he personally knew my best friend. So my best friend was talking to him while I was talking to the guy that like messes with us, and pretty much asking him like, what was they doing after prom, blah blah blah. He was like, there is a kickback after prom. Me and my best friend should come to it. I'm like, we had a rough prom. Okay, so when you hear the story time, you'll know why. But we had a rough prom, so we wasn't really up to do anything after prom. Maybe the next day, which is what we did, but maybe the next day after that we were going to do something. But tonight, after prom, we was going home. The only reason we even went to prom was because we paid tickets. If we didn't pay tickets, we wouldn't have went. So we get, yeah, I'm talking to him or whatever, and he's like, yeah, what y'all doing at the prom? Y'all should come to this kickback, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're drinking, we're smoking. I'm like, I don't do that, but good for you. Like, cool. You know, whatever, whatever. And then we kind of swapped. So, like, the guy I was talking to and the white boy that, what we gonna name him? I don't want to give too much hints. So, we're gonna name him Neapolitan. And I'm not going to say why, because then people are going to catch on. So anyway, we can call him Neapolitan. So, like Neapolitan ice cream. Anyway, so Neapolitan, so the guy that was messing with us, and then Neapolitan, we switched. So I was now talking to Neapolitan. My best friend was talking to the guy that be messing with us. So he was like, oh, you're really pretty. And I'm like, thanks. And he was like, look at you, girl, like, you look cute, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nah, that's you. You look cute. Like, you look good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, pretty much, when the night was winding down, and it was getting late, like, around 11 or whatever, he was just like, give me your number. I'm about to leave. And then when I go home and change clothes, like, we can all kick it or whatever. Like, we get some food or something. Like, I want to hang with y'all. And I'm like, you know, whatever, like, if you down to hang out with us, that's cool. So me and him exchanged numbers, and I'm like, all right, cool. So when we exchanged numbers, we also added each other on Instagram and Facebook, and yeah, all right. So I thought he was cool. I'm like, okay, got me a little white man, like, woo woo woo. And he wasn't the first white man I talked to, but he was just like the first one that I ever went out with, but you're about to hear about that. So we didn't end up hanging out after prom because we were super tired and hungry. So we literally went to Taco Bell, ate, and we pieced the fuck out. Like, we went to sleep as soon as we got done eating. We didn't even get any pictures, you guys. Like, my mom took pictures, my godmom took pictures, and my godmom is my best friend's mother. So my mom and my godmom took pictures. My little god sister, she took pictures, and then I think my sister wasn't there. My auntie took pictures. That was it. After that, we didn't take any, like, at all. I don't even think I took maybe 4 or 5 selfies. That's it. And that's ridiculous. For prom night, that's ridiculous. So I went to sleep, got up the next morning. I didn't have my license, but I had a car, so I just filled the car up with gas and let one of my friends, who I'm no longer cool with anymore, but I had let her drive, and then me, her, and my other best friend, not the one that I went to prom with, but my other best friend, me, her, and that best friend, we went out. So that's what we did. And so yeah, we did that, and then after we left from there and we went back to my best friend's house, he called me, so we were on the phone the whole night or whatever. And okay, so prom was May 6th, and so if prom was May 6th, then it was yo, when is Mother's Day, you guys? When is Mother's Day? It was either, I want to say it was the next week, so don't quote me, don't quote me on this. I think it was the next week, which means it was the 13th or the 14th. I want to say that's when Mother's Day was. So we were talking that whole week, constantly on the phone, calling each other, blah, 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 blah. Mother's Day rolls around, right? So the Saturday before Mother's Day, y'all, this is when this happened. Saturday before Mother's Day, he hit me up and was like, oh my gosh. So pretty much he was like being really disrespectful in text messages, not to me, but he was like, yo, I hate my mom, like, she won't let me use her car, she's always being a bitch to me. I'm like, oh, okay. He ended up saying, okay, so like an hour passed or whatever, like that I didn't reply to him because he was doing too much. And so he ended up texting me. He's like, hey, I don't know if you're busy, but my mom finally let me use her car, so I can come pick you up if you want, and we can go hang out. Why did my dumb self say yes? Like, why? Oh, by the way, I also told my mother. Like, I texted her as soon as she said that. I'm like, oh, look, because I wasn't with her. I was at my best friend's house. So I'm like, hey mom, going out with this guy, Neapolitan, so you know, whatever. So she's like, okay. Oh, and this weekend my mother was in Memphis, okay? So she wasn't there, but I, you know, was just keeping her in the loop. And I told my best friend, she's like, all right, well, see you later. So she walked me outside to his car. So pretty much after I got in the car, I saw why his mother didn't want him driving the car. That car, it looked like, okay, so this happened in 2016. It looked like a if it was happened in 2016, it was probably a 2015 car. Like, that car was super new and it was really nice. Okay, so we got in the oh my gosh, it's so many people out. Anyway, so pretty much after I got in the car, I saw why his mother didn't really want him driving it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're teenagers, and if it happened in 2016, it was probably a 2015 car. Like, it was super new and it was really nice. And how nice it was probably a company car. Like, for whoever his mother worked for, it was probably a company car, which is why she didn't want him driving it. But anyway, got in the car was really nice. So y'all, remember I told y'all he texted me and said he wanted to go out, but his mom was being a B word and wouldn't let him use the car, right? So that was already later in the day. So by the time me and him went to hang out, it was 9 o'clock at night, meaning it's already dark. So he was like, well, if you don't mind, I smoke, so can I stop at Circle K really quick, okay? Honey, we go to Circle K. I'm thinking he's about to buy like Black and Miles or whatever, and like, you know how people smoke weed, they clean the Black and Miles out, then they put weed in it and roll it up. That's what I thought he was doing. Or people do that with Black and Miles, and they do it with Swisher Sweets. So, and I used to sell them when I was doing retail. I used to sell those to customers, so I know what they do with them. I thought that's what he was doing. No, he was smoking these as if they were like fucking cigarettes. Excuse my language. And then I'm like, oh, you just smoking these regular? He's like, yeah, you know, I used to smoke cigarettes. I started smoking them, I think he said, when he was 13. So I stopped smoking those and I started smoking these. Doesn't really matter, because regardless, you're messing up your lungs, but do you know what I'm saying? Plus, I'm used to it because almost everybody in that area smokes. So I was used to it. I'm like, okay. So he was like, well, I have to smoke out here because my mom won't let me smoke in her car. Obviously, it's a new car, but so he sat outside of the car and smoked one of the, I think he bought like 4 packs. Oh, and y'all, oh my gosh, I don't got no problem with nobody who does this, but I used to do it when I was younger, and it used to embarrass the hell out of me. He pulled out a baggie of quarters to pay for the it wasn't even straight quarters. He bought out a baggie of coins, period, to buy the Swishers and the Black and Miles. He bought out a bag of coins and dumped it on the counter and proceeded to count it to pay them for the 4 or 5 packs that he had. Can you please explain to me how much sense that makes? Okay, so he pays with his little well, he pulls the baggie out, and y'all, I think on this date I had brought like $180 just to have in my pocket. Because if you didn't watch my first date advice, go watch it, y'all. Some good stuff. But because that's how I get down, I brought my own money, so I made sure I had money. I think I brought like somewhere between $150 and $180 on the date. And but it was in cash. If you know me, you know I hate cash. I hate cash. I hate cash. I hate it so much. I just feel like you're a walking target if you have cash. A card is easy. I stick mine in the back of my phone case. It's simple and easy, but I had cash. So when he was pulling the coins out, y'all, I forgot I had did this, but I pull my wallet out and I'm like, I can give you the money for it. And he got offended. Like, I'm like, I just don't want to sit here and watch you count. I also think it's super embarrassing because I already look older than what I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I used to do it when I was younger and even embarrassed me when I was little. Okay, so I just didn't like it. So I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, my eyes itch. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I was like, I can pay for it. He was like, I got my money, like I'm gonna use this. I'm like, okay, the hell, I'm trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you. So he gets the little Black and Miles or whatever. We go to the car and he's like, the car's unlocked. And I'm like, okay, like, what are you telling me that for? He stood outside and smoked that entire thing, the whole pack, not just one, the whole pack, before he got in the car. So that's one pack down, okay? We get in the car. He's like, if you don't mind, I don't really have an idea of where we can go, so we're just gonna drive around. I'm a traveler. I've always liked to travel. Travel is my thing, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something that I like to do. I like to ride in cars because I like to travel. Why though? Real quick, why would you ask me to go somewhere if you didn't know where we were going? Cause you was asking me out like you had an idea of where you wanted to go. Like, he was asking me out and catching attitude with his mama about this car like he really had something planned. And he had nothing planned. And it's not like I'm a catfish. Like, you saw me in person. That's how we met. Like, anyways. So he's like, oh, I don't really have an idea of where we're gonna go, so we can just drive around. And I literally stared at him like this. Okay. Like, so he was like, all right, cool. I'm like, drive. Now, this won't really matter because, I mean, it doesn't matter because nobody, like, well, I know people that live in this area, but you're still not going to guess who it is by me telling you. But anyway, there's this area in Illinois, because that's where I was living at the time. My dog is so irritating. Like, he just will not leave me alone. I'm trying to film. Anyway, there's this area in Illinois, that's where I was living, called Millstadt. It even sounds like what I'm getting ready to describe it as. But Millstadt is super racist. They do not like black folks at all. Yeah, so we're driving and we pass a couple of spots that I know, like this roller rink and, you know, some other stuff. And then I look up and you know how it says so many miles until this destination? It said, I think 38 miles till Millstadt. Honey, I'm black. You're the white one. I'm black, okay? And I guess the Neapolitan wasn't thinking because he can drive and walk comfortably through that area. Yes, I'm black, so no, we can't relate. What are you doing? So he took me through Millstadt, and I was like, ooh, honey, no, what you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, oh, like, there's this area that I go to back here. Like, I always drive back here when I'm thinking. Excuse me? Hold on. You one of them. I see that you one of them. You're one of those. You're trying something. I don't know what he was doing, but I knew he was trying something. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch him. So I looked at the car door, and ladies, all of y'all should do this. But I looked at the car door to see how the door unlocked. Like, if the locks were only on his side, or was it one of them locks where you can move it yourself? So I looked, and I'm like, okay, I can move the door. So if I gotta get out, I can run. I was like, but I'm still in a really prejudiced, racist area. So even if I get loose, people are gonna be looking at me crazy or whatever. If y'all saw the vlog I posted like a week or 2 weeks ago or something like that, when I went to Nashville, and y'all saw how black those roads were while we were driving, it was worse than that in Millstadt. Like, they had no street lights over there, so it was pitch black, and we were going off the lights on the front of the car.